Meanwhile, the Prime Minister responded to the speech on social media saying, not a single plan for the future. Our country needs bold action, not waffle. Well, yeah, waffle, boring, dull, whatever. Maybe we need dull now, do we, Gemma? Just thinking about Boris Johnson went down in flames a bit.
Exactly. We need sensible. Look, admittedly, he's not the best orator in the world, but I don't care. And, you know, a part of being the leader is to inspire, lead, sort of govern your party more than anything, and also explain to the country why you're taking the steps that you are. I believe that we now need a period where the culture wars are dialed down, where you've got somebody who is across their brief. We've got somebody who does the reading. We've got somebody who
it's like Gordon Brown type of figure.
Yeah, just somebody sensible.
The thing is that if you look at Gordon Brown or John Major, they're regarded as very bad prime ministers.
Well, I don't know why, compared to Johnson, Truss and Sunak. I mean, we've had
maybe because they were dull. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think the problem with Keir Starmer isn't that he's dull. I think he's a duplicitous, two-faced lie with no principles. That's Keir Starmer.
What, because he's changed his policies?
What, as opposed to Boris Johnson?
Well, no, we can't always do it by comparison. Let's just stick on stuff.
Yeah, I don't know genuinely what sort of Keir Starmer that we'll get in Downing Street. Are we going to get the Tony Blair second coming, or are we going to get the guy who supported Jeremy Corbyn to become Prime Minister twice? I do not know. It's my job. I follow everything he says every day. I don't know what sort of Keir Starmer we're going to get. So this is the Ming Vase thing that the commentators speak of. And I agree. Yeah. I think we're all holding our breath. But that is because of papers like yours. The trouble is that the minute he says anything at all, even something quite moderate, it gets snatched and weaponised.
So his Green Deal is an example.
Anything.
He was going to do, what was it, a 28 billion Green Deal. That was the big policy. He dropped it.
Yeah.
Now, isn't dropping it quite a mature thing to do? Because it was getting torn to shreds.
If there were one or two examples, maybe. But he became Labour leader with 10 promises, and he's broken, I think, 9 of them. Including renational. Well, the one I think he promised to provide effective opposition to the Tories, which even I will say, given the polls, you can argue he's kept that one. But renationalising water, mail, rail. Also defending open borders with the EU.
They are going to do that, but in a better way.
No, he's promised. Well, he's promised not. Well, unless you're saying Labour are going to promote open borders with the EU, in which case,
I think the point is he was going to go back to some sort of customs union or free movement,
defending free movement with the EU, and he's now taking that off the table. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, this guy has lied through his teeth before to win the Labour leadership. Why on earth should we believe he isn't doing that now?
He is opposing the dirtiest government who have given out contracts to their mates, who we've got sewage, I was about to say something else, in our water, and the country is in a state.
So literally the dirtiest.
There is a part of me that hopes he is just doing anything to get power, and then we'll see. Oof. I do agree with you that we don't know.
You can't do it like that, though. You can't do anything to get power. That ends up in disaster.
No, I know. Listen, I don't approve of it. I don't agree with it. The jury's out for me. I'm not affiliated to Labour. Personally, I'm going to be voting tactically. I think it's a miserable state of affairs. But I think if you look at the man that he is, it doesn't tally with some of the things that he says, and it is a bit of a mystery. I quite agree.
But it's odd, too, as you approach an election, to jettison your policies. Usually it goes the other way.
But then you've got to be pragmatic as a politician.
I totally understand.
And if you are inheriting nothing, basically, scorched earth, perhaps it's wise to say, caution.
Well, they had a terrible thing, and I remember 1991, John Smith was the Labour shadow chancellor, Neil Kinnock was the leader, and they decided to do what they called a shadow budget, and they did all the numbers on the budget. This is where we're raising taxes, this is what we're doing. And it caused a disaster for them, and they lost the election. Yeah. And they worked out from that, never be too clear on what your policies are.